And welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the hardest career series. Today's episode launching 2 spacecraft to replace the ones we just lost in the previous episode when they burnt up on Reentry or entry of Eve's atmosphere. So we've got replacement spacecrafts D and C, or C and D. It's on the launch pad, but they have been changed somewhat. So we'll head into the VAB very quickly and take a look. We have got a very short amount of time before we're out of the launch window for Eve. We have passed it. We'll head to the VAB very quickly and take a very quick look. And then we'll head up to the launch pad and begin today's mission. Okay, so this is spacecraft C. D is exactly the same as this one. As you can see, we've got different configuration of the solar panels. It's only got 3 solar panels, battery banks, propulsion system, everything else is exactly the same. And we've got 3 of the main antennas. But the biggest change is the heat shield. It's quite a weighty heat shield. 560 kilos with the ablator. Without it, it's 400. Hopefully 160 kilos worth of ablator is going to be enough to last long enough to get into Eve's atmosphere. It should do. Don't know, that's not on a rigid attachment, so it's done that again. Okay, so we've got 2 of these. We have cut down Delta V somewhat, but we did have quite a lot of excess. We had over 1,000. So we're eating into Delta V by about 500, just over 540. Would normally have just over 1,000 Delta V clear, so hopefully we still got 500 Delta V clear, plus what's in the spacecraft as well. Okay, so let's head out to the launch pad, and we shall begin today's mission. So hopefully we can intercept Eve. She is slightly outside of the perfect launch window, but the first 2 spacecraft we sent, the flyby, were already outside, so not too far out. So hopefully we can actually intercept. So we'll head to the launch pad and we shall begin the launch of both of the spacecraft. Okay, so successful launch. We've got the 2 SRBs back. Okay, so we're going to push this to about 150, 180. Not too far away from the apogee, actually. So you can actually do it all in one go this time, instead of sort of splitting it into 2 different burns. Okay, let's save on Delta V as well. I don't think we'll have any issues with Delta V. We had a lot spare in the previous launches. Previous 2 spacecraft towards Eve. That's previous 4 spacecraft had quite a lot of Delta V left over, so it's not going to be an issue. So we get a leak. Hopefully we don't. Okay, looking pretty good actually. Try and bring it down a little bit more. Try and roll it round as well. Try and bring that down. Okay, minus 28, 27, 26, 25, 20 on the power axis. So I might need to go onto the apoapsis and push up the periapsis a little bit at least. Just like before, we can't be too low towards the atmosphere, because if we do a burn at high ejection burn, which we will need to do to actually catch Eve, we don't want to hit Kerbin's atmosphere. 1375, 170. Cut at 180. Okay, 181.316. And the apoapsis is just above the atmosphere at 70.9, so almost 71 kilometers at the periapsis. Okay, so we have a circularized orbit of 186 by 180. Now, initial Eve encounter about 57,500 kilometers. I'm going to try and tuck it in a little bit further. It may need some correction bends on the way, but we've had to do that a couple of times before already. Okay, so we should be on the way to Eve. Okay, so just getting onto the maneuver node. So as we're there, about 45 seconds. Yeah, we should be okay. We've got a ultimate encounter, at least for now, the initial burn, about 33,000 kilometers. So I tucked in a little bit further from the 57,000 that we was at. Okay. Just about there. So I'll initiate the burn. 6 minutes and 51 seconds between the two stages. So that's quite a decent burn. So it's short by about 3 minutes compared to the previous missions that we sent. So that's not too bad. Okay. Okay, so Spacecraft D, almost circularized. Once we are, we'll plot the course to Eve, but it's going to be like 240 days anyway, so we're not in any rush. We've got plenty of other missions to be getting on with in the meantime. Okay, 70 plus kilometers. Okay, that's been circularization. Let's go around to the apoapsis, which is at least, it's about 20 minutes or so. 17 minutes. Nose down slightly into the atmosphere. Just so circularize a little bit quicker. Back up again. Okay. Ooh, 185. 185 by 73, so 185.3 by 73.3, almost 0.4 kilometers at the periapsis. Okay, so trans injection stage initiated. So we've got the burn underway. 7 minutes and 47 seconds and counting. 2,300 kilometers. So it's much closer than the previous 33,000 of Spacecraft C. I don't know how I managed to do that. But it's much closer. Okay, we'll finish the burn. We'll take 2 stages, obviously the Aerosine 50 and NTO stage here. We'll still need to do a considerable amount of burn, not a huge amount. We'll use a little bit more Delta V though, a little bit more, about 2,800 or so. Yeah, I seem to be wandering off all the time because I haven't got SAS on. It's a bit silly of me. Okay, so I had to make another correction burn, a second correction burn. So I've only had to make 2 after the initial burn, so I've got down to 4,853.532. It's still going to be all over 240 days, 247 days and 28 minutes. Turn that off. Okay, so that is the 2 spacecraft. That's the 2 spacecraft C and D to replace the previous episode's mission spacecraft that we actually lost. So that's spacecraft A and D and B that we lost. So those 2 spacecraft burnt up on contact with Eve's atmosphere pretty quickly actually. So these 2 have heat shields apiece. Hopefully they'll fare better. Okay, well that's it. Well, let's head back to the Space Center. Okay, so back at the Space Center, that's the 2 replacement spacecraft that we lost in the previous episode, which is the atmospheric sample mission. So that's spacecraft C and D on the way to Eve. Okay, it's going to be quite a while there. It's 240 plus days. Unfortunately, nothing we can do about that. We're well past the ideal launch time. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go right around the sun and come up behind Eve. Okay, but coming in the next episode, we have the second missions to Juno. So spacecraft A and B, they're orbital science missions. So hopefully they're far better than the previous missions we've actually launched towards Eve. Okay, so that's the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to click like, it's appreciated. Also, if you do enjoy the content, clicking the subscribe button and sharing is very much appreciated as well. If you wish to leave a comment, ask a question, as always, you're more than welcome to do so. But please remember, I've got a moderated team who go through the comments and questions before they're enabled on the channel and also sent to me. So I do apologise if I haven't got to you, but sometimes I do get beaten by time. So if I've not actually answered your question, that's probably why. I'm not sort of being rude, but I do want to have time. I've only got a certain amount of time. I do try to get on the comment section a couple of times a week, but sometimes I don't quite manage to. Okay, so don't forget we have Discord, Facebook and Twitter. You find links to all 3 of those platforms on the banner front page of the channel. And also you find a donate button next to those 3 links on the banner as well. If you wish to show your appreciation for all the hard work that goes into the channel in a monetary fashion, well, that's why you do it, basically. Every single penny is very much greatly appreciated and goes straight back into the channel for this content, current content, other series, and also series in the future. Okay, so once again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next episode when we're going to be sending the spacecrafts A and B in Mission 2 to Juno. In the meantime, as always, take care. Bye-bye.